Hi, it's Lynn from LynnieCDesigns. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in West Sussex, and I'm coming on today to share a version of this card. This is my entry to the latest Global Design Project Challenge, which is a theme this week, and I have used well done and stitched rectangles. I'll make a smaller version one, but this is the DL size, just under 10 by 21 centimeters. So I just was really pleased with this. Now I created this window. I started off, it was going to be simple stamping, and then I got a little bit carried away, but I stamped just using the images or the stamps from Well Done, which I'm really pleased to say is carrying over into the new catalogue. Both of these products are actually. I started stamping and then I just got carried away. So you'll see that this window here is longer than any of the dies. So in order to get that window, I think that's the one that I used. I did one side and then slid down and did the other side. Now if you want me to do a video where you see how I actually do that, then leave a comment in the comment section below and I'll do that in another video just to show exactly what I did. I had a disaster the first time, but I'm quite pleased I managed to line it up really well this time. I got a little bit carried away with the sequins. Now the sequins are currently available, but they're not carrying over. This is the Whirl of a Time sequins. I also used some shimmer spray once I'd done the stamping. I'm not sure if that's picking up the shimmer on that back, but I sprayed it with my homemade shimmer spray made from this all-purpose, the frosted white shimmer paint. This isn't carrying over, so get it and stock up with it now if you want some. I'll stop waffling and I'll just get on and show you what I'm doing with this card. And I may actually make it into a shaker card. I've got the same base, which is Pretty Peacock. This one is, let's have a look at the base. It's half a sheet of A4, so it is 10.5 by 29.8, and it's scored in the middle to make a side folding card. I've got two pieces of Whisper White, one for the inside and one for the front where I'm going to do my panel. I've got some scraps of white for stamping. I use the turtles on this, and I think I will do a whale on this one, but it's still forming in my mind. I've got a sheet of Pretty Peacock, which is cut exactly the same size as the front, and this is where I'm going to cut an aperture. And I'm going to use one of the foam adhesive sheets. I'm going to trim strips out of that so that I can pop up that frame. Now I've already die cut using the rectangle dies, a bit of Balmy Blue and a bit of Pretty Peacock for the sentiment that I'm going to use. And in case I make it into a shaker card, I've got a piece of window sheet that is cut just slightly smaller so that it'll glue on once I've cut the frame. I'm going to go and cut the frame and then I will be back. So I'm hoping I've die cut that straight. We shall see in the big reveal. So you've got this bit which I can use on another card. So let's do some stamping. So I have just trimmed some bits to go around the frame and pop that off to one side, and we shall just do the stamping that we're going to do. So I've got Balmy Blue ink. I'm going to use one of our blending brushes to add some colour to this because it's a bit stark. So I've got Pretty Peacock, Granny apple green, bumblebee, oh, I need to put the colour. I normally put, so on the back of here there are some stickers, and these are the labels that we use to put on the front here. Grab it. It comes in different languages, and I pop that in there, and then it's really easy to identify what colour you're using. Now, I was given a good tip, and that is actually not to, again that's another one I haven't got the sticker on, so we'll do that while we're doing a little bit of housekeeping. Even though that's about to retire, I keep all my colours because I love them. And in fact, I found that was quite handy when there was a colour refresh. I can't remember when that was, a couple of years ago. Some of the old in colours, or some of the old colours, were actually brought back because they were so popular, and because I kept them, I didn't need to buy them. So yes, leave that open a little bit, and then it stops you getting quite so covered in glue, in ink. But whether that's, oh, see, there's another one. Just clean. Being lazy. And then Flirty Flamingo for some of the coral, for the coral, pieces of coral. So there we go. Pop those down there, and then it's just a case of creating a little scene. So this is what I did. And just by doing different layers of it, that's a scratch on the block there, and then just twisting it round, you get a really nice effect. I'm going to put that there. You just have to be a bit careful when you are doing the second generation, because you have to come down, otherwise you get left with some harsh marks. Lovely. And then you have, there's another tiny little bit of seaweed there, and you can come in and actually add some extra bits and fill in the gaps. Hopefully that's, and you can add it in full strength to some of the existing ones. It doesn't really show, so I think that's about done. We'll just add one in there and come back off. Full strength there, look. Full strength there. Fabulous. Clean those off. Now I want to do jellyfish, but I'm going to stamp off for that. Fabulous. You're not going to see an awful lot around there, but it's just quite nice to have a little bit of colour. Now I'm going to do the same with the seahorse, but I'm going to have green seahorse stamped off twice to make it really light. And they are hiding a little bit and hidden by the seaweed. And then I'm going to use the Flirty Flamingo for the coral. I'm just going to pop that down in the background on the bottom, along the bottom there. Happy with that. Then we shall get some fishers. And that's in the bumblebee. And I'm going to do them in both directions, because I don't think there's an up and or a down. I'm going to pop full strength and some coming off that way. Fabulous. Oh no, don't want that. So I think that's fine for the minute. I'm going to close that. So now put that out of the way. I am going to get my blender brush, and you'll see what I'm doing. Just going to come in and the secret to blending, and these brushes compared to sponges and daubers, is just to build up the colour. So just takes away, for me on this kind of thing, it takes away the harshness. I didn't mean to do those bubbles in the pretty peacock. Never mind, never mind. And always come off the paper, start in a circular motion and come off the paper. Onto the paper, sorry, start on your grid and come on, because that way there's no sort of harsh lines or strong ink. I might need to re-ink that blue. That's why it's a good idea to get the re-inkers, if you want to get re-inkers, because when you've used the ink harp, you can just add more. Right. Lovely. happy with that. I'm going to keep that open, and that's where I want actually the bubbles. Now, I'm still undecided whether I'm going to make this a shaker card or not. If I make it a shaker card, just the bubbles give it a bit of a sense of, or do I spray it with my shimmer spray? I'm not sure. So I was going to use this for the whale. Bit of poetic license, I think. I'm going to do that twice. Okay, so I want 2 of them. Yeah. What I should have done is do on the inside, we will do a little bit like that. I should have kept them open. Some fishes. What did I do? There we go. Am I going to make this a shaker card? Now there is a punch to punch this out, which at the moment is a bundle. It's bundled, I do believe. I'll check that. And pop that out like that. But what you can also do, if you didn't want to buy the punch, because this is quite an easy shape, you can just trim it, or as we call it, fussy cut it. And the secret to fussy cutting is to move the paper in your left hand, or the hand without the scissors, to turn that. Right, makes it easier. You can leave a small border or cut right on the actual image itself. Or a bit of both, like I'm doing now, because I'm trying to do it quickly. And that gives you, so you've got it, I think I'm going to use that one. Perfect. Let's try and get this all out of the way. You can use that punched version maybe on the envelope. Then we are going to do some heat embossing. So do some white heat embossing, embossing buddy, Versamark. I'm going to make this, love this pun, well done. Now, it's actually too big, that die cut, isn't it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that on there and then we can trim it down. A bit of meal out of that. Now there's a couple of stray bits. And what I do, put that out of the way, I take a pick tool, has a putty end, and you can use that putty end to delicately pick up any stray bits. I will just heat emboss that. Perfect. Just love heat embossing. Magic. And then we can put all together. So I'm going to do I make it a shaker card? Oh, I'm undecided. I'm really undecided. So unlike me. Or not. It's been a sad day. Saturday is the funeral of Prince Philip, which I'm sure will be terribly sad. That's on the inside. And then I'm going to pop this down. And that's the decision. Do I put yes, I'm going to make it a shaker card. So in order to make a shaker card, do I pop that on dimensionals? No. Stick that on flat. Stick that there, and just wondering whether so this is the window sheet, and that needs to be stuck down on there. So I'm going to use a small amount of wet glue, and I need to make sure that I've got the proper side. I did this before. That's how I nearly ruined this, my first sample, because I started putting dimensionals on the wrong side. So I was putting on the front rather than on the back. So you saw me squidge that down, and I just did that because I didn't want any of the glue to squeeze out. So I've just popped that on with a little bit of the Memento, not Memento, there was a disc there, some multi-liquid glue, which I'm sure I've mentioned before that I absolutely love. And then I am going to pop these strips down, and the only thing you need to make sure is that there's no gap. So I'm gonna maneuver that a little bit. And make sure these are butted up right next to each other. Do that very well. We need another strip. Oh, there's a tiny little gap there. Right, sorry, I put you on pause because my husband came in and started talking to me. And you don't want that. So we've got, hello Bailey boy, Puppy's now come in. And I'm going to have to fill that gap. And I should really have put that a little bit further in, but never mind, because sequins will bunch up there. Never mind. Now, because I've done it that way round, and you would normally do it to the way round. Oh, I've got a bit of glue on there, which is silly. I am going to very quickly use my dust buddy to get rid of static from the inside of there, because where did I put my sequins? Hiding. I want to put these sequins in the middle. I've got so many of these, I'm going to put rather a large amount in. Fabulous. Hopefully that's enough. Take off the backing of this panel. Oh, it's quite weighty. Very weighty. Wondering if that's on the inside. Actually, don't worry Sorry about that. So that's what I didn't want to happen. Let's see the static. Ah dear. So change of tact, as that went completely staticky. I'm going to drop the sequins. Here. Making sure they're not stuck to the plastic. And then I can put this down. Now we know that it's exactly the same size, so it's a bit difficult to do when you're not looking in the right place. But there we go. Maybe I should have rubbed it a little bit. I'm going to stick these two together. And then trim them down. Honestly, it's got me all in a tiz-was. There we go. We only need to put glue on one bit. Let's try and get it straight. Fabulous. Oh dear. Now I didn't do very well getting rid of the getting rid of the static, did I? Ah, how funny. Trim that down. I just love the little seashells and stuff on there. So I'm going to pop that and stick a blue dot on that end where it hits the acetate, the window sheet. I'm going to pop that like that. And there we have it. Oh, stick. There we go. Shaker card. It's a little bit staticky. Probably should have tried getting rid of a little bit more, but I quite like that. Thank you so much for watching. Head over to the design project. There will be links below. Lots of inspiration from the design team and lots of lovely entries from some very talented crafters. So pop along and give them all some encouragement. Thank you for sharing some time with me today, and I will see you again next Sunday. Bye for now.